Morning, good people. What's up, everybody? uh, hopefully, there's audio and hopefully, there's not any feedback. It's been a full week since I've live streamed. I didn't do my weekly stream, my Monday stream. Threw that off. And I know last week's stream, I was completely out of it, half awake, dealing with getting called into work on a night I wasn't expected to, and going in and only having minimal sleep over this 24-hour period. So it's good to be back into a normal routine. And I say that because, and I know I guess I put multiple community tags out. Yeah, community posts. There we go, on YouTube. Multiple community posts on YouTube detailing Ollie's issues this week. We picked him up last Saturday night from my mom. So he spent some time with his cousins. And every time he hangs out with my brother's kids, he comes home sick. But it was a little different this time. We're battling this crazy, crazy high fever. We got it down, kept getting it down. And we kind of were hesitant to take him to the doctor. Not hesitant to take him to the doctor, but it's kind of, the same old, same old. He's just going to go through a little cold or whatever because he's hung out with my nephews. Well, my niece and nephews. And I think it was Tuesday night, or maybe Monday night, my wife noticed a rash spot. She's like, oh, maybe he got into something while she's there at my mom's. My mom lives out in the country, so he got to do some playing outside, playing in the pool. But Tuesday night blew up in a full-on body rash, and it like bumps. It's almost like he had perpetual goosebumps all over his body. So took him to the doctor on Wednesday morning. I found out he had scarlet fever, and the scarlet fever pretty much was led or kicked in because he had strep throat. Got him his medicine, got him his antibiotics, got him on road to recovery. Doing good now. He just has one or two spots, I think, that kind of itch on him. I think one spot in his chest, one in his stomach. But Ollie is back to his normal self. He was so healthy that yesterday he and I went on a little trip out of town, just some father-son bonding period. Drove an hour to out of town, ate some pizza together, and then just did a little shopping. So it was good to hang out with him. Good to see him back on the road to recovery. I know I had told a few of you guys that I was going to release an unboxing video yesterday. I unboxed my Power Master Optimus Prime, the reissue from 2002, 2003. And I want to say it's 2002. So I've had this in a James Bonding. I had this in the box for about 20 years. From the moment I bought it, I wanted to open it up, but I just said that I would keep it closed. And for whatever reason, Ollie getting back to health and him wanting to do a video real bad. The video he wanted to do did not come out, I think, the way he envisioned in his head. I said, well, Ollie, let's try this. And so I opened this and we kind of negotiated the terms of this video that was coming out. And so he got to do the things he wanted to do in this video. And it worked out. So try to have that released today, and we'll see how it goes. Let me jump to the chat. And Brian was here early saying good morning. Zach's Collections, the next in. Let's go. Fueled by coffee and ready for some Saturday live streaming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The way things work out, you can pretty much sit in front of your computer or your phone all day catching streams. Let me jump back over here. And David, Comics and Wrestling. I wasn't expecting to see him, and I let him know. And he responded with a it's a I'm not supposed to be here today situation. So I can relate to that. Make Pokemon Not War here. Yo, fanboy, I hope you're well. Yes, doing well. Ollie's doing well. Things are good. Things are good. Because I did not sleep after work much. After I took Ollie out of town, after we did some bonding, I pretty much got home and around 5:30, 6 o'clock, I went to sleep and probably slept till 3 in the morning. Which is good. Caught up on sleep, so cannot complain too much. Lady Prime, a similar situation when she got off work. She crashed out, so Ollie had the run of the house. Hey, fanboy, Miss Prime, and hey, Ollie. Alrighty. Mike, good to see you, brother. Saw some Ninja Turtles, some of the reissue Ninja Turtles, the classic Ninja Turtles yesterday. Wound up not picking any up. Ollie had his eyes on something else, and I kind of regret it now. I probably should have done it. Everybody, good morning. Fantastic. Oh, I messed up. I didn't talk much to Neil this week. I forgot to ask him if he wanted to be on the stream. Yes, and so Make Pokemon Not War, he's doing good. He's actually crashed out right now. He stayed up pretty late last night. I guess he wanted to get in as much playing as possible because being under the weather all week. Yes, it was some James Bonding over. Glad he's doing well, better. Strep throat and scarlet fever can be extremely dangerous. It was crazy. So they said that like the rash, it's not like a splotchy rash, but they call it a sandpaper rash. And I mean, that's what it was. If you rubbed your hand over his arm, you just feel all the, like I said, it was almost like goosebumps. So just crazy. I'd never seen it before. And my first experience with scarlet fever, which, talking to people around here, I have a cousin in the medical field. She says it's going around. The second I mentioned it to someone at work who has a background in medicine in the medical field, she said the same thing. So I was kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know that was a thing even. Well, Bore in the chat. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing all right. Let me see. I know. I should have grabbed Bebop and Rocksteady. And Ollie really likes Bebop, I believe. Just from the movie, he plays some of the clips from on YouTube of the movie. So I told him we'll sit down and watch it. And of course, it's just the newer ones. I want to show him the older ones, which he's watched once or twice with Lady Prime. So, what caused the scarlet fever? It was the strep throat. Whatever reason, I don't know. That's just how the doctor explained it. He said the scarlet fever, as far as the rash, would just have to run its course, and there was nothing they could do about that. I guess it's just one of the symptoms. A lot of people died from scarlet fever during the 1800s before we got the antibiotics to fight them. Yep. And so, pretty much how the doctor explained it. And the doctor we have, he's let me see if I can pronounce his name. He's from Africa. Dr. Ifanye Mbadua. And everybody says to call him Doc Hippie, but I made it a point to learn his name. Ollie's pediatric doctor, right? And but him coming from that background, some of the things he's seeing over there, like we converse about various elements and whatnot, and so he just talks about the advances in medicine, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Thanks for checking my Joker Harley Quinn engraving today, fanboy. Yeah, that's cool. I need to go back and fully watch it because I put it to play while I was kind of setting up for the stream. But yeah, man, it's cool that you showed the process and stuff like that. I think that's real neat. Oh, Lady Prime is lurking. Lady Prime is lurking. She is still in bed. Oh man, alive. So last week, my intention was to do Neil Collect's top 10 worst covers. I think it's a pretty awesome challenge that Neil came up with, coming up with the worst covers. I put it off last week because I just was kind of didn't have the energy for it. I really didn't know how long I was going to stream last week. In fact, last week I think I ran it just a 45-minute stream. I normally try to get an hour in. And so this week I was like, all right, I'll get to prep and I'll get to swap out some of the covers I picked because I kind of initially just went really easy. I'm gonna take the step that Neil did. He named his video the top 10 worst covers, and he showed 15. I'm gonna show 15 today as well. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, everybody. I'm sorry, the chat distracted me. Not you guys, just how it pops up on the screen. Lady Prime, or everybody telling Lady Prime good morning. I'm sorry, a little off there. Make Pokemon Not War. Yeah, it took me so long to do. I'm doing a Star Wars one at the moment for someone, which is looking so good. All right, good luck. Good luck with that work. It sounds awesome. And I hope the video is coming out All right, it seems like I've got some delay on the laptop, not my actual phone. So hopefully the stream's coming out all right. All right, caught up. That's good. That's good. And like I was saying, going back to Neil's video, in his video he named it the top 10 worst covers, but he showed 15. So I was putting together mine this past week. Ollie being sick, I did not get into as much of my collection as I wanted to. Like I didn't get to flip through every book to see if there was one that I couldn't remember by memory. What I pulled so far, were covers that I could remember. Like, oh, these are pretty bad covers. These are pretty bad covers. So pulled 15 of them. I'm sure throughout the perhaps 4,000 to 5,000 book collection that there's some over there that I missed that should absolutely be on the on this list of books, on this stack of books that I'm going to show you. I'm going to go back to the comic cam. Guys, let me know if there's feedback. I don't hear anything, and I didn't hear any early, but let me know if you guys hear feedback. And if there is, I'll just have to hold them up this way. What's up, Lady Prime? Nothing? All right, so let me, here we go. All right, first up for my worst comic covers challenge, I have Justice League #1. This is the Jim Lee variant of it. And if you guys remember, this was the Scott Snyder Justice League run. This is the variants. You know, this is kind of during the Rebirth era when there was really just two variants per book. There was cover A, cover B. And in the cover Bs, they were Jim Lee art, and he was focusing on a character portrait of each one. #1 had Batman. I want to say #5 had Superman. You had an Aquaman one, a Wonder Woman one, a Green Lantern one. So first up, my worst covers is Justice League #1 with Jim Lee and Batman. So no. What? Hold on, David. You don't understand, David. This is a worst covers challenge. This is not a cool Batman cover. This is a terrible Batman cover because it shows Batman in all his superhero glory. It's a beautiful Jim Lee cover, but it's Batman, so it's terrible. It's terrible. Oh, they couldn't hear me, could they? Okay, guys, did I have audio right then and there? Can you loop back? Because I accidentally hit something over here. All right, let me go back to this. All right, I'm going back to this terrible cover. Terrible cover. Because it makes Batman look really good. So that's actually a beautiful cover. That's me just doing some Batman trolling. Okay, it was lost for a second. Okay. All right, audio's good. Okay, good. All right, but no, that's just some trolling. I wanted to do a troll job. In Neil's video, he did some trolling. He showed an X-Men cover, Jim Lee X-Men cover. So first up is going to be, this is the official list. This is Suicide Squad #26. This is from the Death Metal or the Dark Knight's Metal tie-in. It's the Gotham Resistance Part 3. They had a 4-issue series that kind of jumped in. It was its own little mini series within the event. It's not a terrible cover, but, and it's going to be hard for me to show it right here. This little section of the cover has Nightwing in it, and it's like they reverted back to Nightwing having his mullet. Also, it looks like he borrowed Napoleon Dynamite's moon boots from that movie. I'm going to try to bring it up closer. If not, I'll show a community post later, and I don't think I'm going to be able to focus it in. But Nightwing's boots bother me on this cover, as well as the hints of having a mullet again. So that's really the reason why this one winds up on my worst covers. And these are in no particular order. Just, I hated this little portion of the cover. Terrible with Nightwing. #2 on my worst covers is The Adventures of Superman 432. Now, on its own, it's not a terrible cover. The art's good. I just don't like the colors on it. I think this cover could have been done a whole lot better, and you still could have got the same feel as a fire, Superman saving somebody in a burning building, Superman saving someone in a blazing inferno. It's not one of my favorite covers. Just the orange. Um, you agree? This is Lady Prime agrees that this is an ugly cover. If you go back to the beginning of the Adventures of Superman, there's a lot of interesting covers that, and by interesting, I mean they made poor color choices. There's a lot of dark shades to it. I don't know if they were trying to play off of the Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller taking Batman to whole levels of dark. I don't know if they were trying to give Superman an edge with darker covers. To me, Superman covers are all about bright, popping colors. And I feel like this is just a terrible, terrible cover. Speaking of Adventures of Superman, this is Adventures of Superman 431. A similar situation. The art is not terrible on it. I'm not a huge fan of the shoulders and the neck and the hunchback look to it. Like, I get it, crushing the gun. This one is more about the colors. And so I just don't understand what the thinking process was at the time. So that's number 3 on my worst covers. We'll go to number 4. And number 4 and 5, you could kind of lump them together. It's going to be GoBots number 3. This is IDW. This is probably my most recent book in this list. That's supposed to be. I think this GoBot's name was Spacey. I can't remember for sure. Try to get a little closer. I just absolutely hate his face. But even the interior art was it was bad for my eyes. Not a fan. Oh my gosh, that's even terrible. Oh, it's even worse. So, and like I said, that's number 4. This is number 5. You could lump these together. I think that's Turbo there. That's not the Turbo I remember when I was a kid. It's brutal. I want to say the interior art, same thing. Just yeah, I was not a fan. I'm not a fan of those covers. When I heard that there was a GoBot series, I was really, really, really excited. Was looking forward to those books. I found out late. That's why I only have number 3 and 4. But I was like, I'll go back and get them. Oh man, yeah, David, I agree. Look at the Kmart Transformers. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Let me jump back to the chat because I know a few more of you guys jumped in. I'm assuming Cat Fan Comics Man video ended. So fantastic to see you guys here. Let me jump back. Oh man, going back. All right. Seems like a cut up. Let me see. Fanboy, did you get the Shazam comics yet? No. Last Saturday, or was it Sunday, we were going to go out of town, but Lady Prime got a little sick, and this is kind of around the same time when Ollie was already feeling ill. And so I'm like fully confident Ollie got Lady Prime sick. I'm fully confident. I was thinking I had it yesterday because my throat was bothering me. So I did not get to go out of town because my nearest comic book store is an hour away. I did want to pick up those Shazam comics. I was not able to, so it looks like I'm going to have to eBay them. I'm going to have to go back and order some back issues. But I do want to pick those up. Mike agrees that Shazam is so good. Okay, that's cool. I've heard a lot about that. I think even Trev mentioned Shazam being good. David with the cool Batman cover with my troll job. Big Jim Lee to troll with. Fantastic Comics and Art is here. Hey, Phil, good morning. Make Pokemon.war. Does anyone know if there are any Ant-Man comics? I can't speak on that. I'm not real big on Marvel, and I'm not real big on modern Marvel, so I'm not sure what's going on. Look, Wellbore getting on to me for dissing Batman. So my Father's Day video I released, the cover showcase of Fathers, I fully accidentally had 2 Batman covers in there where Batman is getting choked by Superman, and Wellbore got on to me for having those. in the video. Everybody telling everybody good morning. Mike letting me know the audio was good. I need to get a mouse on this thing. Could hear you. Okay, and that's what I thought. I did think I went out for a second. Just your average geeks is here. Good morning. I'm assuming that's Dave. Good morning, sir. How are you? I actually like this comic. Oh, yeah, that Batman one is good. That's Bat Racist. The Batman one was good. A good cover. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Oh, Shop for Comic. Good morning, Shop. How are you? Keep scrolling. Everybody telling everybody good morning. Evil responding that there are a ton of Ant-Man comics this past year. He did an Ant-Man 4-issue mini-series and a 4-issue WAP series. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Phil, also, there was a limited series that came out earlier this year you may enjoy. It follows all the Ant-Man through Past to the Future. It's continued into the Wasp limited series I've not read. But that sounds cool. I like the idea of going through the characters' past and various iterations. Trev is here. Good morning, sir. Yes. And and what's funny is that GoBots were around before Transformers, and it's just, it's the difference between excellent marketing and an excellent cartoon that the Transformers took off and GoBots did it. And a lot of people, like looking back, a lot of the transforming robot community actually prefer the older GoBots because they were fully die-cast, or more die-cast than the Transformers. The Transformers would eventually phase out the die-cast, but there are a lot of fans of the GoBots. I can remember watching the GoBots on the USA Network. They had the USA Cartoon Express, and so my mom would drop us off every day in the summer to my grandma's house. We would watch that, and so I caught a bunch of GoBot episodes. That's why I really wanted that comic to be good, but no, not so much. They made a GoBots comics. Was the byline like Transformers, but not nearly as fun? That's funny, Phil. Yeah, like Mike's saying. So make Pokemon anytime there's and this is especially with more your modern books. Modern books are pretty much put out to eventually become a trade. So whether it's 4 issues, whether it's 6 issues, sometimes they throw in an extra issue. Sometimes it's an even bigger trade. But they'll collect the individual issues, and here's a mass market trade. It's easy to get the trades into bookstores versus the single issues, and trades can just it's easier to sell those to the general market. And so that's when anytime you hear someone talk about a TPB, trade paperback, that's what they're talking about, collected issues. And then sometimes they'll collect the issues and do them in hardback. And so those are cool. They look beautiful on your bookshelf. But I like to read comics the way God intended. I like to read floppies. I like to read singles. That's just my preferred method of reading. Mike says, everybody in my household is sick, feels like the flu. Well, that's not good, dude. That's not good, especially your brother coming off of what he was dealing with. Well, hopefully everything turns out all right, Mike. Shazam is good. See the Trev backing it up. I got to check it out. I did not like the last Shazam series, and it's Jeff Johns was on it. Jeff Johns is my favorite writer, but I feel like he kind of mailed it in. That was not my favorite Jeff Johns work. I was expecting big things from that series, and maybe I built up what that series was going to be in my head because I do like John so much. But I did not feel like there was a lot of character building that Johns is notorious for. I don't know, but I want to check this new one out. I've heard plenty of you guys mention how good it is. So, David's comments in wrestling. Phil, the GoBots are proof not everything gets with age. Thanks, Phil. Don't forget the like button. Appreciate that. Trev, those are the best covers. Superman greater than Batman. I agree with that. No Bat love from Fanboy Prime. No, look, all right. Batman's all right. Batman is a supervillain, though. It's funny because I've noticed that Ollie nowadays will not. He used to love Batman, right? And so like, hey Ollie, do you want to get this Batman shirt? No, I don't want it. So I don't know if I'm feeding his like of Batman, which I don't want to do. I want him to like the things he likes on his own. Yeah, I want him to like Transformers, and I try to push for it. But he doesn't. It's not what he takes to. So I want him to like the things on his own. I don't want him to feel like coerced into liking certain things. But I thought it was funny. I offered to buy him 2 different Batman shirts this week, and he turned it down. Batman is a great dad to both of his sons. David, if that is the case, GoBots was ahead of its time, as if was ungood to begin with. Oh, see Bizzle with the chat. Morning, sir. Hope you're still here. I know I'm a little behind on the chat, but good to have you on the channel. Appreciate you anytime you go up. Let's see. Love me some GoBots. Yeah, dude. And so the GoBots technically had the best combiner. They have a combiner named Puzzler, and that combiner doesn't require any extra parts. So you would turn the 6 cars into the individual robots, and then you could make those 6 robots combine into one robot. Your combiner, and no extra pieces. And so that is like perfect Transformer. There are some people who like hate adding on parts to a Transformer because it doesn't really transform. It's a parts former at that point. I disagree with that. But that is a fantastic combiner. Trev, I love the GoBots. Fantastic. Just your average geeks. Now I got the GoBots theme stuck in my head. Mike says best toys ever were the GoBots Magnifighters. They all transform. The Rock Lords. The Rock Lords. They all transformed into rocks. Talk about slick marketing. I remember the Rock Lords being huge at one point while I was in kindergarten. In fact, I wound up with 2 different Rock Lords that some random kid gave me. I think his name was Patrick. And I can only imagine how disappointed or upset his parents would be at him for giving away toys they bought him. Oh, man, keep hitting the wrong button. Mike, yes, floppies. Yes, dude, floppies are the way to go, dude. Yeah, Trev, floppies all the way. Oh, man. David Comics and Wrestling, same Trev. I remember being a big fan of GoBots, Laugh Out Loud, Leader One, and whatever the evil motorcycle's name was. Psykill, I believe. That is correct. That is his name. Nah, it was very jokey. Did find some Ollie's trade paperbacks, though. Can't beat $3. No, you can't. So I'm not opposed to buying trade paperbacks, and I'm not opposed to buying trade paperbacks of a series I did not collect, of a character I'm not necessarily following, of a new writer that I'm experiencing. Like, I don't. But if it's a character I like, Superman, if it's a writer I like, I'm going to prefer to read it in floppies. But I have no issue in, like, me talking about trade paperbacks and just preferring floppies and saying that God intended us to read floppies that way. It's not a knock on trades. It's just how I prefer reading it. I'm not going to think less, I guess I should say, of someone who is a trade paperback collector, because there are those guys out there that collect trades. That's how they collect their comics. So that's just their way to do it. Like I said, though, I have the trade paperback of Marvel versus DC from the 90s, and I've never bought the individual issues, and I've read that thing multiple times. I have trades of, oh man, I can't even remember what it is. But just of series that it was the easier way to go. In fact, I bought that Mark Waid Flash trade recently. If I read through that trade and I really, really enjoy Flash run, maybe I'll go to floppies. But trades do serve their purpose. So yes, Trev, $3 trades, all about that. You get a good price on something, you get a good price on something. Zach's collection says, if Shazam has the knowledge of the universe, how didn't he know how to use his powers when he changed the first time? I don't know. It's all about learning to use, Zach. Oh, okay, there we go. Trev and Zach having this intellectual conversation, and I'm like, I'm on the outside, man. I got to get in on that. But yeah, definitely. It's all about Zach with the shenanigans. Yeah, it's all about what the writer needs to write into the story to create drama. Mike says that he didn't have the wisdom of Solomon. One of the main reasons he doesn't know everything. Oh, he doesn't have it. The bad guy's base was a tat. Was such a great toy. Oh, sorry. The bad guy's base was an AT-AT. Such a great toy. I thought that was the good guy's base. Now I can't even think of what it's called. It was the good guy's base. It was the gray one, basically like an AT-AT. The bad guy's ship was Thruster, which the spaceship turned into a giant robot, and I owned that as a kid, and I'm so disappointed that I still don't have it with me. Love the Rock Lords. I chunked them at people. Diecast rules. I have a lot of trades, but normally when I can't get the floppies. Right. So trades serve a purpose, even if you're a floppy reader. Make Pokemon says, I'm just listening while I do a washing up, so sorry if I can't chat as much. No worries, man. No worries. Rock Lords were dope. And I have caught up on the chat. Okay, so let's go back to my worst covers. Sorry. Brought up something I didn't want to. Back to my worst covers, and I believe this is number 6. And I actually agreed with Neil. Is that coming out blurry? Okay. This is Adventures of Superman 600. Neil pointed out what's going on with the neck. I agree. Like, I'm not a big fan of it's just an awkward looking pose. It's blurry. Okay. It's adjusted on my screen now, so it should be good. Trev, yes. Almost sent that Superman cover for a roast today. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's definitely on the list. And it's an anniversary issue. Superman 6 Adventures of Superman 600, which is basically the Golden Age Superman title. This is Superman 600. It's terrible. His chin, he has the butt dimple. Like, I don't understand. Like, I get the idea of a painted cover. I get the idea of Superman holding a flag. But this is Adventures of Superman 600. Why would DC have picked this image? Like, I do not agree with it. It's a terrible cover, and I agree with Neil on this one. This is a worst cover. His neck is almost like how my back gets sometimes, like it's crooked. Like, I just I don't know, David. Why does he? You're gonna have to tell me on that one. Oh man. All right, so that's number 6. Let me go to number 7. And David's Comics and Wrestling, I believe, is the one posted that it looked like Superman had too much at Bibbo's bar. So I'm going to have a lot of Superman covers in here because I'm not one that, like, I'm a Superman fan, but I do agree that there's a lot of terrible Superman writing. There's a lot of terrible Superman covers, comics, and whatever. In fact, a lot of the triangle number hunt that I'm doing is a lot of terrible Superman, but I have a purpose, and I'm going to complete that purpose. Good morning, madam. Good to see you. Let me do this real quick. I don't like that I have that up. There we go. Get back to the comments. Okay. So either David, either Dave is saying that the Adventures of Superman 600 is a terrible cover, or this one is a terrible cover. But I don't know what's going on with Superman's mug there. The only thing I can say is that it's a wanted poster and it's intentionally bad. But I do not I do not like this cover. A wanted poster from Six Flags. Yeah, pretty much. It's about as terrible as it gets. This is 1996. I want to say mid-90s were probably the worst era for Superman comics. Yeah. Lots of Superman covers. Let me see. Hold on. Did my computer just freeze up? Lots of Superman cover, therefore lots of bad ones, I suppose. Well, board, don't start that. Look, I can get away with being a Batman hater. Trev says Superman has been hitting the white lines. He looks like he's just given up on life right there. As you like Superman Fanboy Prime, would you like to see an engraving of Hat Batman, Hat Superman? Oh, I will send you a picture of composite Superman. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of composite Superman. I just love the gimmick. But yeah, this was Action Comics 717. Just a terrible. It's just the numbers, not a diss. Yeah, just terrible. This is bad. Number 8 is going to be Adventures in Superman 521, Triangle number 11 from 1995. So once again, mid 90s. I have no idea what's going on with Superman's face. I watched a Comic Tom video recently. It was about the DC Universe logos. You know, it has the variant in the corner box, and this issue was brought up, and it's oh man, I can't even think of his name. It's the guy Comic Tom works with that runs the comic book store. He even pointed out that this is a terrible, terrible Superman cover, and I agree. Number 8, number 9, Adventures of Superman 520. So there's a lot of debate whether Superman had long hair or had a mullet during the 90s. That is absolutely here. It is looking like a mullet. This is a terrible cover. I have no idea what's going on with, once again, Superman's face. I believe it's the same artist. Some artists can't draw feet. Some can't draw faces. And so this is terrible. Good morning, Bobby. Good to see you here. Oh, man, I hit the wrong. There we go. Good morning, Bobby. Good to see you here. I hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Yes, I agree. Terrible, terrible. And so, yeah. The wanted the wanted cover looks like Superman in his late 30s living in a basement. Yes. Yes. That looks like the movie poster for The Room. Wow. And David says he yeah, it's just the mid 90s. Like I said, which is weird because you had the 90s comic boom, you had the death of Superman, which is huge, one of the biggest storylines of all time. You would have figured they would be investing in Superman at this point. And so I can see why that, 90s trash. They call it 90s trash. There's a lot of bad 90s stuff, and I can see why the popularity of Superman went down big time because this is what they were pushing out as Superman books. 6, 7, 8, 9. I think this is number 10. This is Team Superman. This is a one-shot. It's not necessarily a terrible cover on its own, but I do not like Superboy's face. I'm not a huge fan of Supergirl's chest right here because she looks like a boy flying. It's just a bad overall cover. And this is the Matrix Supergirl. This is Supergirl. Well, this is 99, so I'm not sure actually what Supergirl this is, but it's not one of my favorite covers. In fact, when I found this issue, never even heard of it, Team Superman, I almost put it back because it doesn't have a triangle number on it. This copy's real beat up, and the art is terrible. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of this issue. All right, Dave, we'll see you at Breakfast with Brian. All right, let me get a recount on my issues left. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's number 10. And like I said, it went from 10 worst covers to 15 worst covers. So these next ones are going to be all from the same artist. If you guys are familiar with the 90s Superman run, the reason for the triangle numbers was there was 4 different Superman titles going on at the same time. It was Superman, it was Action Comics, it was Adventures of Superman, and it was Superman the Man of Steel. And so Superman the Man of Steel had pretty much the same artist writing team for at least 100 issues. I'll bring that one back up. David. We'll look at how Steel's holding the hammer. I don't know if it's supposed to be draped over his shoulders and he's resting his arms on it. I don't know. That is weird. I didn't notice that before, but now that I see it, like, I don't know. Huh?
Now you're gonna just
well, like, because I don't see the handle. Like, you don't see the handle at all, so I can't justify it being on his shoulders because I don't see it over his right shoulder. So I have no idea how that hammer is there. That's a good point, David. Trev, if you're heading out, good luck. A safe trip on your trip to Whataburger. That sounds good, and I may have to go during breakfast with Brian. So in the Man of Steel, yeah, exactly, Trev. It vanishes behind his head, so I don't get it. Superman, the Man of Steel had the same writing team. It was Louis Simonson, and the artist was John Bogdanov. Not my favorite artist, and there are a lot of individuals in the Superman community who love John, who love Bogdanov's art. I know on his covers he would just a lot of times just put Bog. They call him that. You're still listening, Trev? Fantastic. This Reign of the Superman, and there are so many great covers during the Reign of the Superman. I do not like this cover of the Man of Steel number 26. He had his own art style. I get it. The idea of Man of Steel, a lot of edges with steel. That's kind of how his art style was. You can see the jaws are kind of like a lot of straight lines. Huh?
It's really squared up.
Yeah, it's really squared. Like I just do not like Bog's art is not my favorite style. And so I want to say these last 5 issues are all of the Man of Steel. This is Man of Steel number 50. I don't even like how he did the chains in here. And I'll probably do a separate video. This gave me a topic to talk about this morning for the stretch. I'll probably do a separate video where I can get better pictures of these, or maybe I'll post them on Instagram. I just think it's terrible. Here's the Man of Steel 49 issue before that. I don't know. I don't like Superman's pose. I don't like all the black, and I know that's going to be more the inker with the shading on the cover, but just not a favorite. Not a favorite. This is Superman 4, the Man of Steel number 42. Yeah, we do get some thong action over here and some fishnets. So, but the rest of it, I don't even like the proportions of this vampire guy. Not good stuff. Not good stuff. Never had it. Now I feel I'm missing out. Whataburger is good. What's Lady Prime? What is your favorite breakfast item to order at Whataburger?
Breakfast, Bob, breakfast on a bun.
Which one, sausage or bacon? So Lady Prime loves the Bob's. Look at her left leg. Yeah, I don't. Oh, the right leg. I mean, that thigh's got some muscle on it, right? Like, I don't know. And her calf is kicking. I don't know, man. And I'm not even sure. Yep, that's Bob and Janky, or Jank. I don't know. I don't know if it's Janky or Jank, but I want to say Jank just because Zach's here. Yeah. I don't know. Trev, both are looking in rough shape. Zach's collections, talking about 49. That Superman looks like looking for a bathroom. Yeah. So Trev, the shipping guru, says bacon every morning. So the breakfast on a bun. So it's basically, instead of being on a biscuit, it's on a hamburger bun. And so Lady Prime loves the sausage and Bob, the breakfast on a bun. Whataburger serves it with the hash brown. It was basically like your tater tots, your hash brown sticks, which those things are awesome, man. And then, you get your drink with it. So, Whataburger breakfast for the kill. 100% jank factor. Mike says, nah, breakfast taquitos. Yeah, they have the taquitos at at Whataburger. Being that I'm back in a small town, because when I lived in San Antonio, if you went to get breakfast tacos, they were extremely overpriced. So I still prefer breakfast tacos. Give me a carne guisada with cheese or bacon, potato and egg. But Whataburger breakfast does hit the spot. But yeah, it's just another terrible cover. And so the number 15, this will be the last, and I won't subject you guys to terrible covers anymore. This is Superman, the Man of Steel, number 43. You've got Mr. Miracle on there. You've got Superman. Bobby, have a great thanks for jumping into the stream. I appreciate you being here. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. And we will see you. Philtastic says, the only Bob I know is Outcast. Man, I can't talk. Let me get lots of water. Trev says, that taquitos are for late night drunk food, Mike. No, well, here in this little town that I live in, the Whataburger line, you sit in there for about an hour getting your breakfast over your bobs overnight because it is drunk food for overnight here in this town. I know that one time I went with somebody to Whataburger, and maybe their times have improved. I fell asleep in the car, woke up 30 minutes later, and we had moved up 2 spots to get midnight or later Whataburger. So I don't know, but yeah, that's the crowd you're dealing with because it's the only thing that's open overnight as far as for fast food. Zach says this is Whataburger to me geographically would be either Missouri or Georgia, depending on where in the state they are. Wow. Mike says no breakfast, Trev. A late night is the chicken dinner basket. But see, Mike knows what's up with the Whataburger. Mike, so I know that Whataburger is in Arizona. Did it reach Colorado or not? I think it's either in Arizona. Maybe did we see someone when we went to Vegas? Is there some in Nevada? If not, it was close to the Nevada-Arizona border. Yeah, when I left Texas, Whataburger was really slow, even even for a drink. Wow. But yeah, going back to this Man of Steel number 43. I get it. They're in a boob tube, but I don't understand if that's why they have the Spider-Man pose where the knees are up here next to the shoulders. I don't know. This is terrible. This is terrible. Down the boob tubes, guest star Mr. Miracle is the little heading on this cover. I just, man alive. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right, let me remove this. Let me get back to being the star of my own show. Mike says, yes, they have 2 Whataburger. Are they? I guess they're close enough to you then. Trev says, all made to order. Yeah, that's the issue. Overnight, they're running a skeleton crew because it's overnight, and they're only running the drive-through, at least in my town. I had a friend who was a manager of Whataburger, and he told me they left their lobby open 24 hours when he was in San Antonio. And I'm like, I don't understand how you did that. The dangers there. And I think at some point it got to where they only kept the drive-thru open. Zach says 38 in Arizona, 5 in Colorado, 12 in New Mexico. I'm on their website. Zach being my statistician for this show. So fantastic. Zach, I appreciate that. That's Wendy's, Trev. 5. Okay, so 5, cool. I've seen only 2 so far. Where are you living, Mike? And Mike says, Denver, you have my address. Phil says, I've heard the only way to eat a Whataburger is sitting directly on the toilet. I guess it's close to the White Castle here. I have never I've never heard anyone say this way to eat Whataburger is directly on the toilet. That's, oh man, Phil. In Texas, those are fighting words. I remember, so it was a big deal, right? For the longest time, Burger's headquarters were, I believe, in San Antonio, and then they sold to a Chicago company, I think, or was it a Philadelphia company? It was one of the two. I thought it was Philly because then everyone made the jokes that they're going to start serving Philly cheesesteaks instead of burgers. And but it was a big deal to the people, especially in San Antonio. Like you could hear the talk radio and the people calling in, like making it way too much of a deal. No, Mike, what reality? My reality. Fanboy the Great, Ron Bennington. I'll have to look that up. I don't know. I don't know. We need In-N-Out to head east. Do they have In-N-Out in San Antonio? So I still have yet to have In-N-Out. Mike says, now Whataburger doesn't make you sick. In Texas, that's the Jack in the Box or the Taco Bell. Lady Pride loves both Jack in the Box and Taco Bell. Lady Pride loves the what is it, the tacos, or what is it?
They're like,
they used to be 99-cent tacos, but you would get 2, right? And so one time when you guys placed your order, you guys placed the order telling them the count of tacos, but you said it with the number of orders, so you end up with double the tacos. Yeah. Whataburger is amazing. Phil, you're missing out. Zach says the entire Northeast is denied Whataburger. Suspicious. Or no, I'm not sure for the reasons for that. Let me just jump back on some of the chat I missed, just in case I missed anything important directed towards me. Not that all you guys' chats are not important. Just didn't want to not answer somebody if they question me. Zach, I believe the PC term is either hockey hair or Kentucky waterfall. Are these the official terms for a mullet? Oh, man alive. So I had a Vegas trip years ago with an ex-girlfriend. And is that my Wi-Fi signal?
Yeah.
Why am I on Wi-Fi? I'm connected directly to the connection wasn't good. Okay. So in these random photos, back through these Vegas photos, you know, the landmarks, the lights, the glitz, the glamour of Vegas. There's one picture of me sitting behind this kid who has the greatest mullet in the world. I got to go look for it and see if I can show you. We were watching the show that happens at the Treasure Island. It is like behind the greatest / worst mullet in the world. But I believe the PC term is hockey hair or Kentucky waterfall. So just remember Kentucky waterfall because that one is awesome. I gotta keep that in my playbook. Brian says mugshots never look good. Going back to the wanted poster. I do like Trev that Superman was hitting the white lines. That will crack me up. Even the eagle is messed up on 600. That's funny. All right, there. That's what I was looking for. There it is. Mike was saying that Trev, my worst covers are those Sweeney Boo covers. Ugh. So I've got to look that up because I have no idea what that was. Because then Mike also responded that Mike, you hate you hate those things. So hard reading Harley. Love Harley. What are y'all doing? All right, so let me jump back. But Brian said we need In-N-Out to head east. Mike with Whataburger doesn't make you sick. In Texas, that's Jack in the Box or Taco Bell. Dude, I love me some Taco Bell, but I only get the hard shell tacos, no lettuce, because I feel like the lettuce is what makes you sick because it's soggy, watered down lettuce. I mean, I don't really like vegetables on my burgers or my tacos to begin with, but I'll eat it. Usually in my burritos, I only want beans, rice. Give me the meat and cheese, right? Which I guess beans are a vegetable, kind of, right? I guess. The entire Northeast is divided. Whataburger is suspicious. So In-N-Out wasn't impressive. You had In-N-Out?
Yeah.
No good?
It wasn't all that.
Not all that? Huh.
I thought I would like it more, especially like what do they call it? The animal style fries or something?
Oh, I don't know what the fries are called. Phil says Trev, none over here. Mike says, I stay away from In-N-Out. You can have them, Brian. Brian says, Mike, comics are always good when we hit Cali. So my first experience was In-N-Out was seeing it when I was in Vegas, and I always wanted to make a trip there, and just the people I was with, we just never got the chance to do it. And eventually made its way towards San Antonio. That's kind of at the same time we moved away from San Antonio, so I still have not done it yet. Yeah, the one we got here, it's not good. In-N-Out. Oh, Lady Prime wants to say, if you only knew, I'm sure, right? That's right, James. And she knew that ex. That's the funny thing.
We worked together.
We all worked together. Her ex and my ex worked together.
Yeah.
Oh, man, alive. I'm sure if they ever saw this live stream, you guys would know they were here because there would be hate in the comments.
Well, I'm still friends with one of them.
No, but the one I knew. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Well, Lady Prime says, no, I'm still friends with one of my exes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, what I'm trying to say is, yes, you're talking about your ex, but I can't complain because I'm friends with one of my exes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Okay. So, Phil, going back to this, I have immunity because she's friends with one of her exes. In fact, this ex that she's friends with, she went to his house after Ollie was born and told me after the fact. So.
Oh, my goodness. No, we went to his parents' house. I don't know,
guys.
I have to tell him the story why. I used to live with them.
I know you used to live with it. I'm making it sound worse than it is. I'm doing it on purpose, though. Trying to get the chat on my side. Mike, mullets have been popping up here a lot more lately. I've noticed it too. So I work in a town separate from the town I live in. I drive like 36 miles to work, 36 minutes to work. And in that town, for whatever reason, that baseball team, every year, they do the mullet style. And I don't know.
I want to cut Ollie's hair like
It's always an impressive thing when you see Hispanics with mullets, but these are young Hispanic kids with mullets. Like, they take it to another level. They do their mullets stylized, though.
But I know I always bring them up in the chat, but Theo Vaughn has the
Trev's giving you the damn thing,
Theo Vaughn. I love Theo Vaughn and his mullet.
Zach says, disclaimer, morning stretch is not responsible for any domestic issues that may arise. I don't know this Karen, but she sounds sus. My town has 1,500 people, so my wife knows my exes. Oh, that's funny, Wilbur. That's good. That's good. Trev says Theo Vaughn is so funny.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah, so I walked in the other day with the Lady Prime called into work this week because she was sick. So like I'm tending to Ollie, making sure he's getting medicine. She's in the bedroom. And I hear somebody like talking really loudly in the background, and she's got Theo Vaughn a stand. So yeah. When was he supposed to come near here?
He was in Austin.
Oh, so we missed it already.
Well, I know he was supposed to come to Corpus in March.
Hmm.
And then he was just recently in Austin, and one of my friends went to go see him.
So we missed all that. Well, oh man alive. Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice. A little rusty. Like I said, I possibly I hope I don't have strep. But it's either allergies, still dealing with allergies. I went a week without not having where I couldn't hear. No, I mean I went like 10 days with ear pressure. I couldn't hear drainage and whatever. It went away for a week, and then it came back yesterday because I missed one day not taking my allergy pill. It was one of the Ollie's days where I was just focused on getting him healthy, make sure he was on his medicine, making sure waking him up if he was taking a nap, making sure he was good. And I forgot about myself, and so now I've got the scratchy throat. I've got the drainage in my ear, so I probably need to just go get looked at and have something done. Maybe just remove my ears. I'm not sure. Phil Taxit comments in arts. Theo Vaughn is hilarious. Heard him on Opie a few times. Remember watching him on the Real World too. That's when Lady Prime fell in love, when he was on the Real World. So I have to compete with the San Francisco Giants man. I can't even think of his name right now. And Theo Vaughn. That's my competition. So, all right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. We'll see you at Breakfast with Brian's live stream, and I'm hoping that I have a much better Saturday than I did last week. I missed Brian's show. I apologize, Brian. I missed Phil's show. I apologize, Phil. I missed Spine Ticks. So I'm hoping that I'll get to close out my day with all you guys on Spine Ticks. Have a good one, guys. And I will let Ollie James, if I can get to it, send us out as always. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. I hope you had fun. And I had fun for sure. See you guys.
Video. Say thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Bye.
Say
Bye. See you next time.